Hello everyone. I've just started on Periscope. Now I'm going to do it for my YouTube friends. I'm here live in the Science Center in Singapore. So come and join me. It's really beautiful. I want to take a look around with you and also want to show you my exhibit here, which they kindly did. That was the reason for me to come to Singapore. So come and join me. And it's absolutely magnificent here. So I'm right at the entrance here, and we're going to take a walk through the Science Museum. I'm just going to flip the camera now. Yeah, I'll just wait a few seconds for some of you to join. I can see that some of you are joining me. It's going to be very enjoyable. Science is very enjoyable. It comes from the heart. And you're going to love it. Hi, Laurel. That was the first comment. Very nice. So I'm seeing Laurel now. It is very beautiful here. So hi, Jackie. Hello again. Yes, I'm going to give you a walk through the Science Museum. And it's really, let's see, there's a reflect. Yeah, it's quite incredible, and we're going to walk through science here, and I'm going to show you my images which are displayed there too. Hopefully the display will be on now. So I will flip the camera now. Let's see if I can manage that. Hi Anthony, hi Isabella, good to have you. Hang on, just going to flip, there we go. The camera's now flipped. So first of all, if you come to the entrance here, it's a bit loud because there are many children. Awesome, Mark is there again. Look how cheap this is. $6. Isn't that cheap? Look at that. Oh my goodness. Imagine coming to a science museum and paying only $6. And I think sometimes I think during the week it's also free, right? So they're very generous here with education. That's the first thing that I have to note. And then you come, now it's a bit loud because I mean there's a lot of excitement here. But you can see this is a psychedelic entrance here. Lots of interest here, some children playing. Let's see what they're doing. Can you see the ball rolling uphill? Well, that's very interesting because they have an optical illusion here. Whoops, there's a ball falling down. Let's put it back in. So it's an optical illusion where the ball then goes up. Sunburnt. I don't know. So it's funny, it's like the ball's rolling uphill. Of course it's not, it's an optical illusion. And you can see me there with a camera actually. Very interesting, so there's a camera at the back looking at this. But you can see they really made it very nice for children to understand science and enjoy it, instead of trying to achieve only high marks in school. They want to make science more enjoyable. Oh, this is interesting. This thing gives a shadow. I'm going to try and get out of this loud area now because just a few minutes ago it was still empty and now there's so many people. Oh, here you have an optical distortion. Oh my goodness. That's me with the camera there. I have no idea what this is supposed to mean. I think you're going to get dizzy now. It gives some kind of distortion here. That's me distorted. How funny, isn't it? And so on. Anyway. So when we walk through, we come to the main area. And there's sort of a big, what you call a Faraday cage in the middle, as you can see. So this is like a big Tesla coil. It's not illuminated, and it's I don't think they're doing any experiments now, but this is sort of the shock environment where they do all kinds of high voltage experiments. And there you can see a Faraday cage which is completely insulated, so you can sit inside without getting electrocuted, which is the same as when you get lightning struck by the car or so. You're protected. And now, let's see if I can find the exhibition. I always get lost here. Let me walk to my images now and show you what they've done here. So here is the section which they call light. It's all about light. Hi, very interesting. Good. good. Thanks, Susan. I recognize all your handles, all your names, and some of you have written to me personally, so I do remember that. And I try and answer all emails whenever possible. So this is the section they call Visual Light. And you can see my name here, which is quite interesting. There you go. It's misspelled at the end, but it doesn't matter. So what am I doing? Wildlife photography workshops. And I'm also doing astrophotography workshops, which I'll be doing tonight. So there you go. And there, oh my goodness, now they have it on. That's beautiful. So there's my now you can see it. This is a big screen. I think it's 55, 60 inch. And you can see my work here on display. They've got all the images. So what are you looking at here? You're looking at the march of the Milky Way taken at different intervals. It's across the whole sky. It's as if I left the shutter open and did a multiple exposure every hour or so. How can I see your photography? Okay, that's a great question. One of them is on a website called cosmicclock.space. But you know, I've been so busy that I haven't even properly organized it. But you can see some of it on Instagram at Zasephoto. You can see some of them, and very cool, isn't it, Mark? They've done it beautifully. If I take a step back, you can see the whole corner now. Really nicely done. My signal must be too weak. I should actually have a Mark, how is the Wi-Fi signal coming through? Because it should actually be coming through very well now. Because I think I've got a good signal in here. But hopefully, you know, hopefully the broadcast is working okay, because YouTube has a much better resolution than Periscope. But you can see that they've made a beautiful exhibition here. Streaming great for me, thanks, Mark. And you can see that they've got all. Congratulations, thank you so much. Signal good here, that's good. Hello. Hi. I like loose leaf. That's very nice name. It's fine for me. Good. So you got a good signal. But anyway, why this is all interesting is I might be able to do something for the Science Museum here. This would be very interesting to have my art here displayed inside a planetarium where they have a spherical roof, and maybe that'll work. So I'm going to look into that. Okay. So. The Science Museum is interested in working together with me, so who knows? I would love to do my first ever projects here in Singapore, and if it makes sense, we'll do it. Looks superb on the big screen, doesn't it? Good, Mark, it does. Great, good to know. Hi, Jennifer from Connecticut. Ah, that's it. My goodness, you know, with all the different handles, I sometimes don't know what is what. Your work is very interesting. Thank you. Thank you. It's basically about the discovery of new patterns. I came up with this pattern completely by accident. Thank you thank you, Jennifer, for that kind comment. So, and they've got all these beautiful images here. Hello, Christian. So glad I caught you live. You did awesome on your presentation. Love the space. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's very kind. And you can see they've got this beautiful 3D microscopy here. There was a talk, if you want to see it, I can't remember, I think I streamed it on Periscope, I'm not quite sure now. Probably on Periscope, from Dr. Wright. He did, his work is displayed on Times Square. So this is what it is. I'm getting nothing. How is that, Joanne? Why are you getting nothing? That's not good. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Try and refresh your screen. How's that? Try and refresh your screen. Sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes, you know, the browser gets stuck. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But I wanted to show you and share some of the work that some young scientists and artists have done. So this is a colorful maze, and they're all between 20 and 24, and you can walk through here. It's an incredible experience. How did your time-lapse pictures from Silent Spring turn out? Jackie, they turned out absolutely superb. I showed them in my presentation. Thank you for asking. The time-lapse is incredibly beautiful. It's I'm going to work even more on that and make a beautiful show on time-lapse. This is another sort of transparent light maze that you're supposed to be engulfed in different colors as I walk through, and you can see the sound and the whole you know, feeling changes as you go through it. So again, some young scientists have have worked on this exhibition, which I think is marvelous to see the youth involved. And then there's a big section here on climate change, basically on sustainability. It's a big thing here in Singapore. Singapore is a very well educated country of about 5 million people. Make a portfolio? Yes, I will. Susan, I will make a portfolio, and I have to work much more on that. I have been so crazy busy with my ideas and doing things and doing new broadcasts, and I only started my YouTube channel a little more than a month ago, really. So there's so many things, and you can see here's the whole carbon cycle to hit your carbon targets, the recycling demonstrated to you. Okay, so there are sort of these carbon quanta, whatever you want to call them, the trade carbon, representing our carbon dioxide cycle. Nicely done. And a lot of emphasis here on sustainability. A lot. Take the challenge. You can see that. So Singapore is very big on sustainability. And they're trying to pass this on to the next generation, which I completely agree with. Wonderful. Despite all this brainstorming, I hope you get some... Oh, I get a lot of rest. I do. I just have to catch up with some things, Susan. I have to. Cloud making, there's so much. I mean, there's such different areas here. History of emissions. Current world population. Look at that. Did you know what our current world population is? That's great. Look at this. 7.52 billion people on the planet. It's scary, isn't it? You can see the increase there. And I think the next generation has to think carefully of what we do. You know, what we do with the children, because the overpopulation is a huge challenge. It is a huge challenge. So I think this is a very good, very good indicator of what's going on. So 7.52 billion. I remember when I was born it was 5 billion. It's crazy, isn't it? Do you go to the planetarium? Yes. In the US, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to go to the planetarium Singapore here later today, and I will be looking to see whether I can put my exhibition on their, on their how it's possible to do a proper projection, and if it makes sense, I may be working together with them. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Climate change is very important. I absolutely agree. I still think it's been 5 billion too. That's when we were born, it was 5 billion, isn't it? A lot of people, too many people, it's a big issue that everybody seems to ignore. It's a big issue. Are there eagles in Singapore? Not that I know. Not that I know. But soon, I would love to be your assistant. Oh, that is nice. Well, you could, I will actually need somebody who helps me, because I'm moving at such a rapid rate that I don't know how to keep up anymore. So I like loose leaf. Is that Susan again? Just send me an email, zassefoto@gmail.com. That's if you don't already have my email, the same one, at just the same handle, zassefoto@gmail.com. Just write to me and let's see if we can figure something out. That'll also make you happy. That's important. There we go. So let's walk on. I want to show you some other things, some really cool things, but I have to find myself out of this maze. 1 second. I've got some other cool things to show you, but now I'm getting lost here. Oh, we're in the Earth's core now. Look at that. Now we're in the Earth's core. I hope... Okay, thanks. Yes, now we're inside the Earth's core. If you haven't been inside the Earth's core, now is the time. Oh my goodness. There you go, in the inner core. Okay, I won't stay too long because it's too hot here. So I'm going to try and find myself out of this maze, because there's something else I wanted to show you. if I can ever find the exit here. What causes earthquakes? Oh gosh. People on the Northwest Pacific know that question very well. They know that question very well about earthquakes. Now you see, I can't even find my way out anymore. It's such a maze, it's such a big place. Let me see. Oh, there it says exit. That's a good thing. Here we go. Okay, now let's see what else I can show you. If I find this now. This is a completely different area where I haven't even been to yet. My goodness, this place is so huge. I'm going to try and find I'm getting completely lost here. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is sort of a completely... Oh, do you mean Mark Horner's work? Mark Horner is beyond 90 seconds. If you mean Mark's work, or do you mean my work? Reminds me of the Science World in Vancouver a bit, yes. You need a whole day for this. Yes, I do. So Mark's gonna, if you mean Mark, my friend, or if you mean me, my only email is zassefoto@gmail.com, and Mark's, I don't know, but his Twitter handle is beyond 90 seconds. The center is huge, it is. Okay, let me see if I can find something else for you. It's so big that I get lost here. I've only seen a small... This is, by the way, the whole marine section. I won't go into the marine section, but it's also big. So I'm going to go back to the high voltage section, and then let's see. Ah, there's my friend. Yes, that's the Incredible Hulk. There's just someone in front there now. Let's see. Ah, there we go, beyond. Thank you, Mark, you've done it. Good. Okay, now let's see if I can flip it. Okay, now comes the selfie. Wait. Ah! There you go. That was my selfie. Now let's walk on. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now comes my big friend, and there's some periscope. So I hope I won't bore you, but this is my absolutely big friend here. Let's get right down. He wasn't a very tall man, by the way. He wasn't a very tall man, but my absolute genius friend, who I spent a lot of time with in university, reading his books. Can you recognize who this wonderful person is? He is absolutely incredible. I have to just try and hold the stable like that. There we go. So who knows who this wonderful person is? Who do you think it is? Is anybody going to try? I'm sure you recognize him. Gabriel's watching. Oh, that's nice. Gabriel, Albert, that is my friend Albert Einstein, yes. I think he was born in 1873 or 79, if I remember correctly. In 1905, Albert Einstein, yes. Albert Einstein discovered this, didn't discover, but he basically was the father of special relativity. And he worked in a patent office, and he was very bored in the patent office, and he wasn't actually a very brilliant physics student, which doesn't mean anything, it just mean he didn't get high marks, but he did his main discoveries in a patent office secretly because he was bored doing patents, okay? And you just watched the series on Einstein, that's incredible. I used to love reading his work in German whilst I was studying physics at the University of Karlsruhe in Germany. And He came up with, in 1905, the theory of special relativity, got a Nobel Prize for explaining the so-called photoelectric effect, which is absolutely incredible. Other scientists did the experiments on photoelectric effect. The photoelectric effect basically means that every light particle has a certain quanta of energy. So no matter if I shine red light onto a surface and try and get electrons out of the surface, if the frequency or the energy is not high enough, I will not succeed. Okay, that's also what you typically see in fluorescence or so. If I shine ultraviolet light on certain surfaces, they will glow. But if I shine red light on it, no matter how much intensity I put it on, it will not glow. Red light has less energy than ultraviolet light. And he was the brilliant mind who got the Nobel Prize for explaining the so-called photoelectric effect for exactly the physical reason that I've just given, that he came up that it's not the intensity that matters, but it's the energy that is important. And every particle of energy has what you call the Planck's constant. It's a small constant times the frequency of light is responsible for the energy that that is transformed from light into electron energy or so. That's called the photoelectric effect. Very interesting. And that's what he got the Nobel Prize for. But then he came up with special relativity in 1905, which is absolutely amazing, basically postulating that the speed of light is constant, at least in a vacuum, wherever you are. Okay, it's bronze. It's false bronze. Okay, you can hear it. Bronze doesn't sound like that. And then, of course, the general theory of relativity, which is incredibly complex, which is, of course, a big subject. E equals mc squared also came out of that. That is the equivalence of energy and mass, which is very important. And then, of course, the general theory of relativity, which is playing a big role now in gravitational waves and is tackled by very intelligent theoretical physicists and also supercomputers, because it's a what you call a highly nonlinear equation, and you can basically depict the curvature of space-time. Very complex. Yes, Einstein's theory was called, okay, the genius. Oh, it was called genius. Yes, that's right. Hang on, I'm just seeing that. That's right. Empty head. Just like my head, it's empty. My head is always childish, so it's still empty. His head is not at all empty. Thanks for the explanations. Yes, that's at least a very superficial explanation, but I hope it gives you a gist of what it's all about. Genius was excellent. I haven't seen the whole series. I've seen parts of it. Absolutely exquisite. But I have spent a lot of time reading Einstein's work and in original language, which I absolutely love. Hi, Lady Hawk. I'm so glad I caught you live. Well, here I am with my friend. So Einstein, anyway, had an interesting life. Was a very good musician too. Brilliant musician, which is no surprise. A lot of these incredibly scientific minds were also brilliant musicians. He was a very good violin player. And he spent a lot of his time, of course, I think it was Princeton University later. The Nazis were so stupid and foolish enough to get rid of him. I'm German myself. That was the craziest thing, what happened to the Jews. It's a very unfortunate part of German history. But Albert Einstein then basically went to the United States. So, yeah, and that was a very sad part in the history of Germany. And both look brilliant. I think this fellow is a lot more brilliant. Okay, I may have not even 1/1000th of his intelligence. Okay, so that's how I see myself. But I certainly enjoy his work. Okay, so that's Albert Einstein. Let's flip the camera again. Oh, and here are some other big historical figures like Isaac Newton, of course. Brilliant people, yes. Well, Isaac Newton, of course, I mean, goodness me. Brilliant work. So here you have quite a few. David Hume, an Englishman. And Karl Popper. You probably read about the what is it, the paradigm? Karl Popper is a famous philosopher. Can hardly see his. I forgot what his work was called, but it was something about the paradox in scientific revolution. Oh, Thomas Kuhn too. It's a paradigm shift.
Believed that a hypothesis, an explanation, can never be verified because it is impossible to check every instance of something.
So very interesting. A lot of philosophers here. David Hume, of course. And here we come about a section also very interesting. It's all about what we can see beyond the naked eye. And this is a scanning electron microscope, and a very old one of the first ones. But it's beautiful. The resolution, by the way, that you can achieve nowadays in 3D animation is 100 nanometers. 100 nanometers, that's incredible. That is equivalent to the wavelength of light, which is highly ultraviolet. Okay, so I've just learned that. It's an amazing museum. It's really beautiful. Deep breath. Oh my goodness. Atomic modules. You have about everything. You can spend a whole day here. And for the entrance price of $6 compared to what we have in North America, that seems rather ridiculous. I think they should charge more here because they need to make some money too, to keep it all up. Okay, well, I hope, anyway, I'll give you, for those of you who haven't seen it, let's just walk to my exhibition again, if I can find it. It's such a maze here. One second, I'm just going to try and find it. There's so many sections I haven't even seen here. See the balloon flow through the tunnel. How is it possible? Oh, this is nice. Look at this. There's a balloon floating through the tunnel. How is it possible? Well, that's pressure difference. Here, Dyson. The Dyson air multiplier. Bladeless fans are courtesy of James Dyson. That's a famous English person. You've probably heard of the Dyson vacuum cleaner. Price is all relative to the cost of living, yes. But you know, they were saying here, it's an interesting point. It's a lot of discussion because the Science Museum here is governmentally funded, and they also have to start making money. But people are so used to just receiving everything for free. So it's a big dilemma. When they asked me how much they charge in the US or in Vancouver, I told them it's typically $20, $30 for entrance fee. Yes, it's the same Dyson, exactly. That's the same Dyson, the famous Dyson. Yes, brilliant Englishman who did a lot of his inventions in the late 1990s and the beginning of 2000. You came up with the Dyson vacuum cleaner. You probably recall all that. I have no idea what this is, but this looks really crazy. Yes, great technology and style. And you know what I like about Dyson? The simple things that we're used to, we can all reinvent. That's Dyson's message for me. The Perkin-Elmer, right? So you know about the Perkin-Elmer. Very good. I have no idea what this tree is about, but you know what? Let me try and find myself. I have to try and somewhere find where my exhibition is. I have no idea. I've completely lost. Waterworld, my goodness. It's such a big place. And you're wandering around with me. Here you could be a scientist for a day. Can you believe it? I've been a scientist for decades. But here you could be a scientist for a day. I love it. You could be a scientist for a day and wonder whether you should really become a scientist. Oh, thank you, Kathy. That is very kind. Admission fee. Thank you, Kathy. That is very generous. I appreciate that. That is kind. There's my admission fee. And you know what? What I would really like to show you is I would like to show you the Jurong Bird Park. Okay, you probably heard of this famous bird park, and when I will go there on Monday, but I will have to go on roaming costs, which are very expensive. So if some of you want to support me there, to cover the roaming costs, because this bird park, for all of you who love wildlife, is absolutely exquisite, but I have to go on roaming. I have no option. But probably an hour of roaming will cost me something like $20–30. So you don't have to help me now, but if you want to help me then, once we're in the bird park, please join me. I'll probably be doing that in about 24 hours, and if you will help me just cover my roaming costs so that I can show you the beauty, that is very, very appreciated. Oh my goodness, there's a $20. Thank you so much, 25. That covers my roaming costs, and thereby I make my commitment to you all. Oh my goodness, Amanda, thank you so much. That's 45. That is so generous. So it makes over 50. I completely commit myself to showing you this, to going to the Jurong Bird Park, and I will do it. I'm going to look up the time, so it should be somewhere around this time tomorrow. Okay, I will look up when the opening times is, and I will go on to my roaming costs, which I can now afford to do that. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, because that helps. I can't wait to show you that. And in general, the signals should be very good. I'll be taking all my heavy camera equipment with me, and to share this beautiful, very famous bird park with you. Thank you for your generosities. That is incredible. You've just covered my costs, which is great. So now I have no difficulties of covering that. Great. You're very kind, all of you. Good to see you again. Thank you. I really appreciate that. So, looking forward to it is the Jurong Bird Park, okay? That's great. I have no excuse. I never have excuses. Ursula, I'm not a person of excuses. I love doing this. You probably know that. The only thing that would keep me back is an upset stomach, which is very rare, okay? And I feel actually very well, so I think this is 99.9% going to go ahead, and I'll do it in 24 hours. If I can find someone, I probably can't, but you know what? Let me put underneath this broadcast, I'll put the exact time when I'm going to broadcast. For all of you who are there now, look again in about 5 hours or so. I will put the exact time as a comment underneath when I'll be broadcasting, and I'll try and stick to that time as close as possible, because I cannot announce the event, unfortunately. I cannot do it when I'm on a mobile. I cannot say, well, I'm going to broadcast exactly at this time. So what I'll do is I'll give an indicative time there when I'm going to be in the Jurong Bird Park, and I will broadcast from there. Okay, so that's the commitment I'm making. With pleasure, by the way, big pleasure. So now let me find, with all this excitement about the bird park. Yes, my talk went down well. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Okay, great. So that's my commitment to you, which I will fulfill with absolute delight. So let's just see if I can find just for those of you who haven't seen it yet, my exhibition. Ah, yes, now I can find it. Now I know where I am. So now we go back here, so you can have a quick look at it. Oh no, I'm wrong again. Sorry, I'm wrong. Here, it's this one. It's like a maze. Can't wait till the broadcast. I know that a lot of you are wildlife fans, and don't worry. I will do a lot of bird and wildlife, especially, of course, concentrating on birds and raptors. In future, I absolutely intend to do that when I'm back. So let's just walk here quickly. For those of you who haven't seen it, you may recognize this name, slightly misspelled, but here I am. That's me. You love birds, so you can see my dual nature here. I have two hearts. And this is my exhibition there. There you go. So you can see. Ah, there it is. Yes, it is. Thank you. That's another 6. That's great. Oh my goodness. So I completely commit. I tell you, that's all the generous donations you made. That I'm going to go over and cover the roaming costs for tomorrow. Isn't it beautiful? They've made it very beautiful, and you can see all the different images, and they all exhibited it and invited me to do this and give a talk here and give workshops and so on, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. So this is the March of the Milky Way. That's the mark. So, and you can see it's got a very fractal nature. You can see the resolution of the pictures is very good. They displayed it very well and they put explanations there. You see? That's how they did that. The March of the Milky Way across the night sky, taken 30 minutes apart. So you can understand this, right? There you go. Every 5 minutes, so people can understand what it's about. And then of course you have the whole thing as a movie here. Wonderful. Yes, I think they did a great job. Okay. Well, I wanted to thank you all. A map may help, probably. Okay, so just about my commitment. The Jurong Bird Park. Tonight I have to give an astro class, but for me information a little about belly eagles. And Sydney is doing well. Okay, that's Sydney to be spelled with S-I-D, right? Not S-Y-D, Australia, but the S-I-D. So he's doing well, right? I mentioned that hatched over, passed away. Sorry, I didn't see that. It says here the little white bellies eaglet in Sydney I mentioned that hatched over the weekend passed away. Really? I'm not, oh my goodness, okay. Sorry to hear that. Can you show the whole Zasse movie? Yes. I can't put the sound on because they muted the sound, unfortunately, but I will show the whole movie. It's only 1 minute long. It's 1 minute, okay? So I'll let it roll through. Yes, Sydney, don't worry. I mean, I misspell it too. I get all confused. I've been in both Sydneys now, and I really get confused, okay? I really get confused. I didn't know which Sydney was spelled how because you forget. So there you go. That's the movie. That's a 60-second movie, which comes with a beautiful sound, and I will make that available too on my YouTube channel very shortly, so you can enjoy this. You have to see it with sound and so on. That's incredible, it is. So this is how it starts. I'll quickly run through it. That's the start. Is you can see the Milky Way rotate. I have it on YouTube, very good. And now you can see how I built up all the image. And then you can see the different universes. It sort of represents the different universes that we live in. You know, not only scientifically, but also the way we perceive the world. So, this is the one on my YouTube, yes, it is. And then you sort of get this explosion and you're back into harmony. And you get these beautiful colors. And this I did with Jennifer Roshka, who's a very talented sound engineer, and she helped me with the graphics. What is the black object? This black object, you mean this black object? That's just my logo. I'm not sure. Yes, the Milky Way is just incredible. It is. And these are static pictures, but I'm going to do, this is only the beginning of my work. I'm going to do a lot more. Hopefully also with the Singapore Science Museum here, we'll see. But anyway, let me just flip quickly. So there we go. That's me with my work here. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I look so much forward to showing you the Jurong Bird Park. And thank you for your generous, very, very generous help to cover my roaming costs here in Singapore, which I will immediately change so that I can show it to you. I will bring my heavy equipment with me. I'm going to do a lot of sweating because it's very humid, but you deserve everything. You've helped me with the donations, and I so look forward to showing you the best, okay? So, yeah, thanks. Thanks for all the generosity, and I can't wait to show you the bird park. It's supposed to be so superb. And so I'll take a lot of my lenses. I've got my rucksack. I'm going to pack it full and hopefully make it a wonderful experience for you, okay? Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening wherever you may be, okay? Also sprach Zarathustra, yes, agreed, okay, bye.